We're going to hit the pause button.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know me, I was Uncle Albert's favorite nephew. And I can say that because nobody else is here to defend that position. But I grew up in Belen, New Mexico, which is where Albert was born and raised. And so the familial ties there and so forth, the roots run extremely deep. And when I say that Albert A. Ortega was a unique individual, that is grossly understating the fact, okay? He touched so many people, and I would be challenged to find anyone that ever met Albert Ortega that did not remember him. He just had that impact on people. That was his persona. In fact, when Albert spoke to you, and I say Albert touched many people, literally, he touched people when he spoke to them. And my brothers and sisters said, "Why does Albert always touch you when he's talking to you?" I said, "Not only does he do that, he whispers. Because if he's touching you, you're with him, you're in line with him and so forth. Why would he whisper?" He always said that if you speak loudly, people don't listen to you. If you whisper, they listen more closely. So that was my uncle that touched many people, and I have loved him since the day I can remember him. And that goes back a long time because I'm getting kind of old. So I've known him for a long time. Marcella, I love you to pieces, you know that. And I miss Albert. I know you do as well. And Nina Ann, I give both names because that's what they did. Karen Sophia, and Mary Lucille, and Michael. Wonderful person Albert was. Thank you for sharing him with us. And now, a reading from the Gospel according to Peter, chapter 1, verses 3 through 9. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, and into an inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade. This inheritance is kept in heaven for you, who through faith and shielded by God's power until the coming of the salvation that is ready to be revealed in the last time. In all this you greatly rejoice, though now, for a little while, you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. Though you have not seen him, you love him. And even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy, for you are receiving the end result of your faith, the salvation of your souls. And now I think it's time to open it up to comments. Is that correct? Okay. Sure.
No. For any of you that don't know, I'm Chris, Albert's son-in-law. Unique definitely is the word for Albert. He was something else. And when I first started dating Karen in high school, I wasn't sure if he liked me too much. You know, kind of a kid never going away, always being there. And he started calling me by a nickname. And I thought maybe this was it. He was warming up to me. So he'd say, "Mita, this carburetor needs adjusting. Mita, go take out the compost and dump it in the yard." And so I was Mita for the longest time, and finally come to realize that Mita means, hey, you, look. So for the longest time I was, hey, look. But he was extremely liberal and free-thinking. Nina had the greatest graduation party of any high school of any time. It was a blowout, and they were both in their bedroom the whole time, and all of the Paula was in their backyard. And he had just, like he said, he had a way with things. I came home from high school, and I told him, I said, Albert, you know, he was having trouble with Michael taking his tools off the pegboard. I said, Albert, my shop teacher outlined all of his tools on the pegboard, so if there's one missing, he knows when it's missing. He said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And 2 days later, I came home and came to the garage, and I looked, and he'd taken a can of maroon spray paint and spray painted all of his tools. So when you took one off the pegboard, you could see the outline, but every hammer, saw, and wrench had maroon on one side of it. So, you know, when I asked him to marry Karen, he only had one concern. He was concerned that I was riding a Harley and was afraid I was going to get hurt. Yeah, that's when I knew he liked me. But I broke my foot once, and when I first got hired at the post office, and I actually drove home, and Albert was there, and so he said, I'll take you to the hospital. So he took me to the hospital, and they put me in the room. They closed the curtains, and I'm sitting in there. I got my foot propped up, all black and blue. All of a sudden, the curtains rip open, and he comes in with like 3 people. He introduces me and tells them all about my foot. I mean, the guy, if he walked out of an elevator with you, you were his best friend. I mean, he was just that way. And it's gonna be a lonely world without him. He was so special. I don't know. All I know,